let's unpack this. If you're active on social media, maybe you're a creator or run a small business, maybe you just share a lot across different platforms, you've hit that wall, right?
Hmm.
You've got your main profile link in your bio, but you really need to send people lots of places. Your website, maybe a new product, a sign-up page, your other social profiles.
Yeah, and you only get one spot for a link.
Exactly. It's like trying to funnel, I don't know, an entire marketplace through one tiny little doorway.
And that limitation, that constraint, is really why these link in bio solutions popped up and became so essential. Tools like Linktree.
Oh yeah, everyone's seen those.
Right, they give you that one main link, and it takes people to a simple page listing all your important stuff. You probably clicked on hundreds of them.
Definitely. So the source material we're diving into today, it looks at a tool called Beacons.ai.
Hmm.
It suggests this is, a similar kind of link in bio tool, but it kind of hints that it offers maybe a much broader set of features beyond just listing links.
That's right. So our mission for this deep dive is basically to explore Beacons.ai, but only through what this source material tells us.
Okay.
We want to understand what it is at its core, how you actually get started based on the walkthrough and the source, and what makes the feature set it talks about potentially more powerful or just different according to the source.
So fundamentally, at its heart, Beacons.ai serves that main purpose, creating a central landing page, that
Right.
beacon, right?
Yeah, the beacon.
Accessible via that single link that you stick in your social media bio. It's the foundation, kind of like those simple Linktree examples the source shows, designed to hold your links.
That landing page is definitely the starting point. Absolutely. Gives you that one destination. But the source pretty quickly shows that Beacons.ai seems to be building a lot more functionality around that central link hub.
Right. Okay, so here's where the source suggests it goes further. It lists a whole range of additional capabilities integrated right into the platform. So beyond just the link in bio website builder for that landing page itself.
Yeah, the source mentions tools for post-activity tracking and analysis from your social media.
Okay.
It also includes an audience manager, which, interestingly, the source describes as letting you search your fans.
Search your fans.
Yeah.
Oh.
And there are email marketing capabilities built right in, even an online storefront feature.
Whoa, an online storefront. And the source also lists link shortening and a media kit feature. That's quite a collection.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And the source explicitly notes that all these features are available. And like the source points out, you might find it kind of surprising that it says these are accessible even on the free plan that's mentioned.
Free plan with all that.
Yeah, alongside their marketing bundle and VIP options.
Uh,
But the source really emphasizes getting all that functionality without paying, at least initially.
Okay, so that integrated suite of tools, the tracking, the audience management, email, selling it, suggests this isn't just about pointing people different places anymore.
No, exactly.
It's more about potentially understanding and maybe engaging them once they actually land on your link page.
Precisely. The source implies it's moving towards, like, consolidating more creator or business tools into that one single access point.
Makes sense.
For instance, combining tracking data with an audience manager described as searchable. Well, that points towards being able to maybe segment or understand who is clicking and engaging.
Ah, okay. Then maybe feeding that into the email marketing tool.
Could be, yeah. That seems logical based on the description.
Okay, so with all these features described, how do you actually get started with Beacons.ai? According to the source's guide, anyway, it describes signing up as a piece of cake.
Yeah, sounds pretty simple. The source walks through it. You start by entering an email. Username of the example they gave was Beacons at John Lowe or something like that.
Okay.
Then you give your full name and the email address you want associated with the account.
Right. And the source gives a really critical piece of advice about that email, doesn't it?
It really stresses this point, yeah. You need to use a personal and proper email, one you have secure access to, with a password.
Right. Not just any old thing.
Exactly. The source explicitly warns against using temporary email services. It says if you lose access to that email, you could lose access to your links, your whole account. It highlights, thinking about security right from the start.
That's really good to know. Okay, so secure email, add a password, do the I'm not a robot check, and create the account.
Mm-hmm.
The source does mention, occasionally there might be a little hiccup during creation.
Yeah, small note.
Mm-hmm.
But the fix is simple. Just re-enter your info if it happens.
Okay.
And once you're past that, it says you land directly into the Beacons.ai dashboard. You're in.
All right, so you're in the dashboard. What are the first steps the source describes for actually setting up your beacon page, your landing page?
So the source guides you through connecting your social accounts first. It shows adding Instagram as an example and also pasting in a YouTube channel URL.
Ah, so it starts pulling in your existing online presence.
Exactly, demonstrating how the platform starts integrating things right away.
And then you have to classify your content. The source mentioned selecting entertainment as an example category.
Correct. You pick your content type, and according to the source, this helps the page kind of start building itself automatically. It pulls in your profile info to populate the basic layout.
Okay, that makes sense. And after those basics are in place, the source moves on to styling, personalization, making it look like yours.
Yes. The source highlights the visual options available. You can choose different themes, different color schemes, and mentions options like a dark theme, red, blue.
Right.
The person in the source actually picked a color they thought looked really cool.
Yeah.
You also get to select the layout from various options they present.
I remember that part. The source compared one layout option to having a uh, very Facebook way, like a Facebook vibe,
Yeah, Facebook Y, that's what it said.
and noted that it looked pretty nice. So it shows you have quite a bit of control over how that central page actually appears to visitors.
Exactly. So you style it, pick a layout, and the source also notes you can skip things like setting up custom domains or upgrading your plan at this stage if you want.
Okay.
It confirms your basic Beacon page is essentially ready to go.
But like you mentioned earlier, the source says Beacons goes beyond just this basic link page. You can add more advanced features using something called blocks.
Right, blocks. And the source highlights the online storefront block as a really specific example of how you can build more functionality right onto your page.
So, okay, let's say you want to use your Beacon page for maybe affiliate marketing or even selling your own digital products. How does the source describe setting up that store block?
Well, the source shows you adding details for your store first, like giving it a name. The example name used was Shoes Kicks.
Shoes kicks, okay. Catchy.
Yeah. Then you proceed to actually create a digital product to sell. It demonstrates adding an image for that product, using a shoe image as the example.
And similar to the main page styling, can you customize the look and feel of the individual product page within that store block?
Yes, absolutely. The source details this. You can select colors for the product page design. I mentioned picking a midnight theme, I think, or another one that worked well with the photo.
Nice.
You can choose fonts too, like a nice casual font was picked for the shoe example, which makes sense. And you select the layout specifically for how that product is displayed on its page. You can even edit the specific URL just for that product.
Okay, quite detailed. What about the actual checkout once someone clicks buy?
The source briefly mentions customization options there too for the checkout page itself, like configuring the success screen, what people see after they purchase,
Right.
and adding custom fields if you need more info.
Right.
You can also edit the email receipt the customer gets,
Yeah.
the standard thank you for purchasing, et cetera, message.
Gotcha. And then the final step to get that product actually listed and ready.
You click publish. Now, the source does note that uploading the actual product file, the thing they're buying, is a separate step. That can be done later, but it does require email verification first. So the whole process described in the source seems quite guided, pretty step-by-step, even for adding something relatively complex like a store.
Okay, so you've potentially gone from just a basic link page concept to integrating social feeds, maybe audience management tools, email capture, and now even a full e-commerce store,
Oh,
all based on the features this source highlights.
yeah, quite a jump.
The goal then is obviously to get that unique Beacons link you've created out there into the world.
Precisely. That's the single link you put in your Instagram bio, your TikTok profile, in emails, maybe on your business card, everywhere you want to direct people.
Right.
And the source demonstrates what happens when someone clicks it. They land on the page you styled, they see the layout you chose, and they find those clickable icons that redirect to your socials, like the Instagram and YouTube examples they showed earlier. They also see that email subscribe button. It's all presented on that one consolidated page.
It really does sound like it acts as that central hub the source implies,
Right.
bringing multiple points of interaction, multiple destinations, all under one roof.
That's the core idea, seems like. Simplifying access for your audience and maybe consolidating tools for you, the creator or the business owner, all starting from that single link.
So drawing purely from what the source material tells us about Beacons.ai, what's the ultimate value proposition it's highlighting? The so what for someone thinking about using it?
Well, the source sums it up by calling it a pretty great link in bio tool. It points out its usefulness for your email strategy, suggesting it helps you grow your list right from your audience clicking that link.
Okay, list building.
Yeah. And it also explicitly states it's effective for gaining customers and leads. It really emphasizes its role in lead generation. So those seem to be the primary benefits the source connects with this tool and its integrated features.
All right, so we've taken a pretty deep dive into the Beacons.ai tool based entirely on the source material we had. We've traced that journey from signing up, setting up the basic profile.
Which sounded pretty straightforward.
Yeah, piece of cake, apparently. And then understanding that broader suite of tools the source mentions, analytics, audience management, email marketing, that built-in storefront.
Right, and how you can customize things, like
Mhm.
that e-commerce block example.
Exactly. All culminating in sharing that one single central link.
We've seen how the source portrays Beacons.ai as potentially going, quite a bit beyond just a simple link list. It seems to aim at consolidating various online activities and interactions for creators, for businesses.